The galactic stage, humanity's unexpected arrival. In the vast expanse of the Milky Way, the year 2487 marked a turning point in galactic history. The Intergalactic Council, a coalition of advanced alien civilizations, had long believed they were alone in their mastery of faster-than-light travel. Their smug certainty was about to be shattered by the most unlikely of species, humans. The Galactic Hub, a colossal space station orbiting a neutron star at the galaxy's core, buzzed with activity. Representatives from 100 different worlds mingled in its grand halls, their varied forms a testament to the diversity of life in the cosmos. Amidst the chatter and movement, an urgent message flashed across the station's central holographic display. Unidentified vessel approaching. Origin unknown. High Counselor Zixnara, a being of pure energy contained within a shimmering exosuit, floated towards the command center. Her voice, a melodious hum, addressed the gathered officials. Prepare for first contact protocols. This could be. Her words were cut short as the unidentified ship suddenly appeared in view of the station's observation deck. It was unlike anything the assembled aliens had ever seen, a patchwork of metals and polymers, its design seemingly haphazard yet undeniably functional. As the assembled dignitaries watched in stunned silence, a transmission crackled through the station's communications array. The language was unknown, but the universal translators quickly adapted. Greetings, neighbors. This is Captain Elena Rodriguez of the Earth ship Tenacity. We come in peace and hope for friendship. Also, any chance you folks have a spare fusion core? Ours is running a bit low after that last jump. The casual tone, the implied technological prowess, and the sheer audacity of the arrival threw the galactic hub into chaos. Humans, a species previously thought to be centuries away from interstellar travel, had not only mastered faster-than-light technology, but had done so in a way that defied all known scientific principles. As the human ship docked with the station, Captain Rodriguez and her crew stepped onto the galactic stage. They were a motley group, engineers with grease-stained uniforms, scientists clutching data pads filled with incomprehensible equations, and diplomats trying their best to look dignified despite their obvious excitement. High Counselor Zixnara approached the human delegation, her energy form flickering with a mix of curiosity and apprehension. Welcome to the Galactic Hub, Captain Rodriguez. Your arrival is unexpected. Elena grinned, her brown eyes twinkling with mischief. Well, High Counselor, humanity has always had a knack for the unexpected. We're just full of surprises. As the initial shock wore off, questions began to fly. How had humans achieved faster-than-light travel? What was the principle behind their seemingly impossible propulsion system? And perhaps most importantly, why had they chosen now to reveal themselves to the galactic community? Elena and her crew answered each query with a mix of technical jargon and good-natured humor that left many of the alien representatives bewildered. It became clear that humanity's approach to science and technology was fundamentally different from anything the Intergalactic Council had encountered before. You see, explained Dr. Aisha Patel, the Tenacity's chief scientist, we didn't so much break the light-speed barrier as we did, well, sidestep it. She went on to describe a propulsion system that utilized quantum entanglement and something the humans called probability manipulation to essentially teleport vast distances instantaneously. The concept was so outlandish that many of the alien scientists present dismissed it outright, until Elena casually offered to demonstrate. Within minutes, the Tenacity had vanished from the hub's docking bay, only to reappear moments later on the other side of the neutron star. The impossible had become reality, and the galaxy would never be the same. As the day wore on, it became increasingly clear that humanity's unorthodox approach extended far beyond their propulsion technology. Their solutions to problems were often roundabout, seemingly illogical, yet undeniably effective. Where other species saw insurmountable obstacles, humans saw challenges to be overcome through sheer determination and out-of-the-box thinking. The Intergalactic Council found themselves facing a dilemma. Humanity's technology and methodology could revolutionize galactic society, but their unpredictable nature made many of the established powers nervous. Some saw humans as potential allies, others as a threat to the established order. As night fell on the galactic hub, or at least the artificial cycle that passed for night in the depths of space, Elena and her crew were escorted to luxurious quarters. The human captain stood by a viewport, gazing out at the star-studded expanse. "Quite a day, Captain," her first officer, Jack Chen, remarked. Elena nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. "Oh, Jack, this is just the beginning. We've opened the door, but now comes the hard part, showing the galaxy what humanity is truly capable of." As if on cue, an alarm blared through the station. Red emergency lights bathed the corridors in an ominous glow. Over the intercom, a voice rang out. "Alert! Quantum anomaly detected in Sector 7. All personnel to emergency stations." Elena and Jack exchanged glances. Without a word, they rushed out of their quarters, ready to face whatever new challenge the universe had thrown their way. Little did they know, this crisis would be the first test of humanity's place in the galactic community, a test that would push their ingenuity and resolve to the limit. As we come to a close, the stage is set for an adventure that will challenge preconceptions, redefine possibilities, and showcase the unique spirit that makes humanity a force to be reckoned with in the cosmic arena. The galactic stage had been set, and humanity was ready to play its part in the grand theater of the stars. The Xenon Crisis. Earth's unorthodox solution. The galactic hub's central command center was a hive of frantic activity. Holographic displays flickered with rapidly changing data as alien technicians struggled to make sense of the unfolding crisis. At the center of it all stood Captain Elena Rodriguez and her crew, their faces grim but determined. High Counselor Zix Nora's energy form pulsed with anxiety as she addressed the gathered representatives. "The quantum anomaly in Sector 7 is expanding at an exponential rate. Our simulations predict catastrophic consequences if it's not contained within the next 48 hours. The anomaly, a tear in the fabric of space-time, was releasing vast quantities of xenon gas into the surrounding area. This wouldn't normally be a problem, except that the unique properties of this particular region of space were causing the xenon to form complex, crystalline structures. These structures were growing rapidly, threatening to engulf entire star systems. We've tried everything," a Vulcaran scientist with 4 arms and iridescent scales exclaimed. "Energy barriers, gravitational containment fields, even attempted to seal the rift with dark matter. Nothing works." Elena stepped forward, her eyes scanning the data scrolling across the nearest display. "Have you considered not trying to stop it?" A chorus of confused murmurs rippled through the assembled aliens. Zix Nora's form flickered in what Elena had come to recognize as the equivalent of a raised eyebrow. "Explain, Captain Rodriguez." "Well," Elena began, a hint of excitement creeping into her voice. "Instead of fighting against the xenon crystals, what if we work with them? Guide their growth, shape them into something useful." Dr. Aisha Patel, already typing furiously on her datapad, chimed in. "She's right. If we can introduce the right catalysts into the xenon matrix, we might be able to create a self-sustaining megastructure, one that could actually help stabilize the quantum rift." The next few hours were a whirlwind of activity. While the alien scientists looked on in a mixture of skepticism and fascination, the human crew set to work. They requisitioned materials from across the hub, jury-rigged equipment that was never meant to work together, and came up with a plan that seemed equal parts brilliant and insane. Their solution involved creating a massive, crystalline lattice that would encapsulate the quantum rift. The lattice would be seeded with nanobots programmed to guide the xenon's growth into specific patterns. These patterns, based on complex fractal geometries, would theoretically be able to absorb and redistribute the energy leaking from the rift. As the plan came together, Elena couldn't help but notice the looks of disbelief on the faces of many alien observers. One Medusan delegate, his tentacled head writhing with confusion, approached her. "Captain," he began, his voice a sibilant whisper, "your plan defies all conventional wisdom. It goes against every established protocol for dealing with spatial anomalies. How can you be sure it will work?" Elena grinned, a glint of mischief in her eyes. "That's just it. We can't be sure. But sometimes you've got to throw out the rulebook and take a leap of faith. It's the human way." With time running out, the Intergalactic Council reluctantly gave their approval. The Tenacity, along with a fleet of hastily modified alien ships, set out for Sector 7. As they approached the anomaly, the true scale of the crisis became apparent. The xenon crystals had already formed a twisted, chaotic maze stretching for thousands of kilometers. Elena stood on the bridge of the Tenacity, surveying the scene before her. "All right, folks," she addressed her crew and the alien ships accompanying them. "Let's show the galaxy what humanity can do. Deploy the Cedars." Hundreds of small, drone-like devices were launched into the crystalline expanse. Each carried a payload of specialized nanobots and the complex algorithms needed to guide the xenon's growth. For several tense hours, nothing seemed to happen. Then, slowly but surely, the chaotic growth began to shift. Like a time-lapse of a plant growing, the xenon crystals started to form intricate, geometric patterns. Fractals within fractals, each layer more complex than the last. The sight was breathtaking, a fusion of natural beauty and technological precision. As the new structure took shape, instruments across the fleet began to register changes in the quantum anomaly. The energy readings were stabilizing, the rift slowly beginning to close. "It's working," Dr. Patel exclaimed, her eyes wide with excitement. "The lattice is absorbing the excess energy and redistributing it harmlessly into subspace." A cheer went up across the human crew, quickly echoed by their alien counterparts. As the crisis subsided, the true magnitude of what they had accomplished began to sink in. Not only had they averted a disaster, but they had created something entirely new in the process. The xenon megastructure, soon dubbed the crystalline nexus by the human crew, quickly became a subject of intense study. Its unique properties offered potential applications in everything from energy production to faster-than-light communication. As the fleet returned to the galactic hub, the mood was one of celebration and awe. Humanity had proven itself on the galactic stage, demonstrating a level of creative problem-solving that many alien species found both impressive and slightly terrifying. High Counselor Zixnara met Elena as she disembarked from the Tenacity. The energy being's form shimmered with what Elena had come to recognize as respect. "Captain Rodriguez," Zixnara began, her tone formal but warm, "on behalf of the Intergalactic Council, I extend our deepest gratitude. Your unconventional approach has saved countless lives and opened up new avenues of scientific exploration." Elena nodded, accepting the praise with a mixture of pride and humility. "Thank you, High Counselor. But this was a team effort, human and alien alike. We're just happy we could help." As the celebrations continued around them, Elena couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. The xenon crisis had been averted, but she knew this was just the beginning. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, and the journey ahead promised to be filled with challenges, discoveries, and opportunities to showcase the unique human spirit. Little did Elena know, the next challenge was already looming on the horizon, one that would push humanity's ingenuity and resolve to their very limits, and forever change the face of galactic warfare. As we draw to a close, the stage is set for even greater adventures. Humanity has proven its worth, but the true test of their place in the cosmic order is yet to come. The Rift Wars loom on the horizon, promising to shake the very foundations of the galactic community. The Rift Wars, human ingenuity unleashed. The celebration following the resolution of the Xenon crisis was short-lived. Within weeks, reports began flooding in from across the galaxy of new quantum rifts appearing at an alarming rate. These rifts, unlike the one in Sector 7, were not natural phenomena. They were weapons. An ancient species known as the Void Heralds, long thought extinct, had emerged from the depths of intergalactic space. Their technology, based on manipulating the very fabric of reality, allowed them to create devastating tears in spacetime at will. Their goal was simple: reshape the galaxy in their image, erasing all other forms of life in the process. As panic spread through the Intergalactic Council, humanity once again found itself at the forefront of the crisis. Captain Elena Rodriguez and her crew were called upon to help devise a strategy against this seemingly unstoppable foe. The Void Herald's technology is millennia beyond our own. Admiral Carfax, a veteran of countless galactic conflicts, growled in frustration. His carapace, scarred from battles past, clicked nervously as he paced the war room. How can we hope to stand against such power? Elena, her brow furrowed in concentration, studied the holographic display of the latest Rift attacks. Suddenly, her eyes lit up with that familiar spark of inspiration. "We can't match their technology," she said slowly, "but maybe we don't have to. What if we could predict where the rifts will appear before they open?" Dr. Aisha Patel, already catching on to Elena's train of thought, began furiously typing on her datapad. "If we could analyze the quantum fluctuations preceding a rift's formation, we might be able to create an early warning system." The next few months were a whirlwind of activity. While the combined fleets of the Intergalactic Council fought desperate holding actions against the Void Heralds, Elena and her team worked tirelessly on their predictive system. They combined cutting-edge quantum mechanics with good old-fashioned data analysis, creating an algorithm that could detect the subtle signs of an impending rift. As the system came online, it proved to be a game-changer. For the first time, the Allied forces could anticipate the Void Herald's attacks, moving to counter them before they even began. But prediction alone wasn't enough. They needed a way to close the rifts permanently. Enter Jack Chen, Elena's first officer and resident crazy idea guy. "What if," he proposed during a late-night strategy session, "we fight fire with fire? Use their own rift technology against them." The idea was audacious, bordering on insane, but in true human fashion, that only made Elena and her team more determined to make it work. They set about reverse engineering the rift technology, combining it with the lessons learned from the crystalline nexus. The result was the Rift Seal, a device that could not only close existing rifts, but could also create controlled, stable rifts of their own. This allowed Ally forces to rapidly deploy across vast distances, outmaneuvering the Void Heralds at every turn. The tide of the war began to turn. Humanity's unorthodox tactics, combined with the diverse strengths of their alien allies, pushed the Void Heralds back. The final battle took place in the galactic core, a spectacular clash of forces that would be remembered for millennia to come. As the dust settled and the last of the Void Herald's rifts winked out of existence, the galaxy breathed a collective sigh of relief. Humanity had not only survived its trial by fire, but had emerged as a central pillar of the galactic community. The Quantum Leap, redefining intergalactic travel. In the aftermath of the Rift Wars, the galaxy entered a new era of peace and prosperity. The alliance forged in the heat of battle had evolved into a true intergalactic community, with humanity playing a key role in bridging the gaps between diverse species and cultures. Captain Elena Rodriguez, now Admiral Rodriguez, found herself at the helm of a new initiative, pushing the boundaries of space exploration beyond the Milky Way. The Rift Seal technology, refined and improved in the years since the war, offered tantalizing possibilities for intergalactic travel. "Imagine," Elena said, addressing a gathered assembly of scientists and explorers from across the galaxy, "a network of stable rifts connecting not just star systems, but entire galaxies. We could explore the universe in ways we've never dreamed possible." The project, dubbed the Quantum Leap Initiative, quickly became the most ambitious undertaking in galactic history. It combined the Rift Seal technology with the reality warping principles learned from studying the Void Herald's artifacts and the unique properties of the crystalline nexus. Dr. Aisha Patel, now the head of a multi-species research team, led the theoretical work. "We're not just talking about traveling faster than light," she explained during a particularly heated debate. "We're talking about folding space itself, creating shortcuts through the very fabric of the universe." The practical challenges were enormous. Creating stable rifts across the vast intergalactic void required energy on a scale never before harnessed. The solution came from an unexpected quarter, the Medusan delegation, inspired by humanity's out-of-the-box thinking, proposed using the gravitational energy of supermassive black holes as power sources. As the project progressed, it became clear that this wasn't just about travel. The Quantum Leap Network had the potential to reshape the very nature of galactic society. Instant communication across unfathomable distances, the ability to share resources between galaxies, the opportunity to study phenomena on an unprecedented scale, the possibilities were endless. But with great power came great responsibility. The ethical implications of such technology were hotly debated. Could they risk connecting to potentially hostile galaxies? How would they prevent the network from being used for nefarious purposes? Once again, humanity's unique perspective proved valuable. Drawing on their long history of technological development and its consequences, they proposed a system of checks and balances. The Quantum Leap Network would be governed by a diverse council, with fail-safes and kill switches built into the very fabric of the rifts themselves. 5 years after the project's inception, the day of the first test arrived. A massive rift generator, built in orbit around a carefully chosen black hole, hummed with unimaginable power. Elena stood on the bridge of the Tenacity Ole, poised to make history once again. "All systems a go," Admiral Jack Chen, now captain of his own ship, but insisted on being here for this moment, reported. "Rift formation in 3, 2, 1. With a flash of light that outshone the black hole itself, a massive rift tore open in space. Through it, they could see not just stars, but the spiral arm of a galaxy millions of light-years distant. As cheers erupted across the assembled fleet, Elena felt a familiar mix of awe and excitement. Humanity had come so far from its first tentative steps into the galactic community. Now, it stood at the threshold of a new age of exploration and discovery. "Well, folks," Elena said, a grin spreading across her face, "shall we see what's on the other side?" With that, the Tenacity IA led the way, plunging into the rift and into a new chapter of galactic history. The quantum leap had begun, and with it, a new era of intergalactic cooperation and exploration. Humanity's journey among the stars had only just begun. As parts 3 and 4 conclude, the story has taken us from the desperate struggles of the Rift Wars to the dawn of a new age of intergalactic exploration. Humanity's unique blend of ingenuity, adaptability, and sheer audacity has not only secured their place in the galactic community, but has also pushed the boundaries of what's possible. The stage is now set for even greater adventures and challenges as humanity and their allies venture into the unknown reaches of the universe. The hive mind encounter, humanity's unique advantage. As the quantum leap network expanded, connecting galaxies across unimaginable distances, humanity and their allies encountered wonders and terrors beyond their wildest dreams. But nothing could have prepared them for the collective. The collective was a vast, interconnected consciousness spanning an entire galaxy. Billions of individual minds linked together in a harmonious whole, the combined intellect capable of feats that defied comprehension. When the first quantum leap rift opened into their space, the collective's response was immediate and overwhelming. In an instant, they had analyzed the rift technology, understood its implications, and formulated a response. To the collective, the sudden appearance of individuated life forms was both fascinating and terrifying. They saw the intergalactic alliance as a potential threat to their perfectly ordered existence. Admiral Elena Rodriguez found herself once again at the forefront of a crisis. The collective's attempts to communicate were causing widespread chaos across the quantum leap network. Their thoughts, too vast and alien for individual minds to comprehend, were overloading the neural interfaces of anyone who tried to interact with them. It's like trying to pour an ocean into a teacup, Dr. Aisha Potel explained, rubbing her temples after another failed attempt at communication. Their consciousness is simply too vast for our minds to handle. As tensions mounted and the threat of conflict loomed, Elena had an epiphany. "We've been going about this all wrong," she said. "We're trying to meet them on their level, but what if that's not the answer? What if our individuality is actually our strength?" Elena proposed a radical plan. Instead of trying to match the collective's unified consciousness, they would showcase the diversity and adaptability of individuated minds. A team of volunteers from various species would attempt to communicate with the collective, each approaching the problem from their unique perspective. The experiment was a breakthrough. The collective, accustomed to perfect unity, was fascinated by the varied and sometimes contradictory approaches of the individuals. They began to understand the value of diversity, of different viewpoints coming together to solve problems in ways a single unified mind never could. Humanity's role in this process was crucial. Their particularly fractious history, filled with conflicts and reconciliations, provided a model for how diverse viewpoints could coexist and even thrive. The collective was particularly intrigued by human concepts like debate, compromise, and agreeing to disagree. As understanding grew between the collective and the Intergalactic Alliance, a new form of cooperation began to emerge. The collective's vast processing power could be leveraged to solve complex problems, while the creative spark of individual minds provided inspiration and novel approaches. This synergy led to unprecedented advancements. The quantum leap network was refined and expanded, allowing for instantaneous travel between the farthest reaches of known space. New forms of art and expression emerged, blending individual creativity with the harmonious beauty of the collective. But perhaps the most profound change was within the collective itself. Inspired by their interactions with individuated life forms, they began to experiment with allowing more variation within their unity. Small pockets of individuality emerged, leading to a renaissance of innovation and creativity within their society. As this new era of cooperation dawned, Elena couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. Once again, humanity's unique qualities had turned a potential disaster into an opportunity for growth and understanding. The cosmic tapestry, humanity's place in the universe, centuries passed, and the face of the known universe changed dramatically. The quantum leap network had expanded beyond anyone's wildest dreams, connecting countless galaxies in a vast cosmic web. The Intergalactic Alliance had grown and evolved, becoming a true civilization of civilizations. Humanity, once a tiny speck in the vast cosmic ocean, now played a central role in this grand tapestry. Their adaptability, creativity, and knack for bringing diverse groups together had made them the diplomats and problem solvers of the intergalactic community. On the 1000th anniversary of humanity's first contact with the Intergalactic Council, a grand celebration was held at the Galactic Hub. Representatives from millions of species gathered to commemorate the occasion. At the center of it all stood Admiral Elena Rodriguez, her hair now white with age, but her eyes still sparkling with that familiar curiosity and determination. As she addressed the assembled multitudes, Elena reflected on the journey that had brought them to this point. "When we first stepped onto the galactic stage, we were afraid," she began. "Afraid of the unknown, afraid of our own insignificance in the face of the cosmic vastness. But we soon learned that our greatest strength lay not in our technology or our knowledge, but in our spirit." She gestured to the holographic display, showing the vast network of quantum leap rifts connecting countless galaxies. "Look at what we've achieved together. Not just humans, but all of us. We've woven a tapestry of cooperation and understanding that spans the very fabric of the universe." The challenges they had faced, the Xenon crisis, the Rift Wars, the encounter with the collective, had each shaped this new cosmic society in profound ways. The crystalline nexus had evolved into a galaxy-spanning network for energy distribution and computation. The Rift technology, once a weapon of war, now served as the backbone of intergalactic civilization. But perhaps the most profound change had been in how the various species of the universe viewed themselves and each other. The rigid hierarchies and xenophobic tendencies of the past had given way to a celebration of diversity and cooperation. Humanity's example had shown that strength could be found in differences, that innovation often came from the collision of disparate ideas. As Elena concluded her speech, she turned her gaze to the stars visible through the hub's massive viewport. "Our journey is far from over," she said, her voice filled with wonder and anticipation. "The universe is vast, and there are still mysteries to uncover, challenges to overcome. But whatever we face, we will face it together, as one intergalactic community." The applause that followed was thunderous, a cacophony of sounds from countless alien species united in appreciation and hope for the future. As Elena stepped down from the podium, she was met by a group of young cadets, humans, aliens, and even a few individuated members of the collective. One of them, a young human woman with eyes that reminded Elena of herself in her younger days, stepped forward. "Admiral," she said, her voice filled with awe and determination, "what's next for us? Where do we go from here?" Elena smiled, placing a hand on the young cadet's shoulder. "My dear," she said, her eyes twinkling, "we go wherever our curiosity and courage take us. The universe is infinite, and so are the possibilities. Our story is still being written, and you, all of you, are the authors of the next chapter." As the celebration continued around them, Elena gazed out at the star-filled expanse. Humanity had come so far, grown so much, but their essential spirit, that blend of curiosity, determination, and adaptability, remained unchanged. It was this spirit that had carried them from their first tentative steps into space to their current role as a linchpin of intergalactic society. The cosmic tapestry continued to unfold, each thread a story, each knot a connection between diverse species and cultures. And at the heart of it all was humanity, not as conquerors or saviors, but as friends, innovators, and fellow travelers on the grand journey of cosmic exploration. As the story comes to a close, we are left with a vision of a future where humanity's unique qualities have helped shape a harmonious and ever-expanding intergalactic civilization. The challenges they faced and overcame serve as a testament to the power of human ingenuity, adaptability, and spirit. The adventure, as always, continues, for in the vast expanse of the universe, there are always new frontiers to explore, new challenges to face, and new wonders to discover.